The wind howled, rain lashed against the windows of the inn. The Old Stagger Inn, they called it, nestled high in the mountains, miles from any other sign of life. It was a pit stop for weary travellers. Tonight it was a sanctuary from the storm. A storm that seemed to echo the turmoil brewing inside. The fire crackled in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the rough-hewn walls. The only other light came from a flickering gas lamp, casting long, eerie shadows across the room. The air was thick with the smell of damp wood and something else, something ancient and unsettling.
My name is Haruka, and I don't scare easily. A paranormal investigator by trade, I've seen my fair share of spooky occurrences. But something about this place, this inn, it felt different, colder. As I stepped across the threshold, shaking the rain from my coat, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched.
The innkeeper, a stoic woman with eyes that seemed to hold centuries of stories, showed Haruka to her room.
Sleep well, and pay no mind to any noises you might hear.
Her words did little to calm Haruka's unease. The storm intensified as the night wore on. The wind howled like a banshee, rattling the windows and making the old inn creak and groan. Haruka sat by the fire, a book in hand, trying to ignore the growing sense of dread that was creeping up her spine. But the silence between the gusts of wind was worse. It was in those moments of stillness that she thought she heard it, a faint whisper just on the edge of hearing. Haruka tried to convince herself it was just the wind playing tricks on her, but deep down, she knew better. There was something else here with her, something unseen, something malevolent, something... Haruka woke with a start. The fire had burned down to embers, and the room was plunged in darkness. A cold sweat clung to her skin. The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end. She could feel it, a presence in the room. Something was standing at the foot of her bed. She could sense its icy breath on her face. She forced herself to sit up, her heart pounding in her chest. The room was still dark, but she could make out a figure shrouded in shadows. It was tall and gaunt, its edges blurred and indistinct. She couldn't see its face, but she could feel its eyes boring into her. The room felt colder, and the air was thick with an unspoken terror.